It's Faith Over Everything. It's a podcast where we talk about everything.
Everything?
Everything. No topic is safe.
But we gon' give it to you through the lens of faith.
All right.
So sit back, relax, and let us do what we do. It's your host, Jasmine. It's the FOE crew.
Okay.
I said sit back, relax, and let us do what we do. We your host, Jasmine. We the FOE crew.
Hey, FOE.
FOE.
Faith over everything.
Faith over everything.
FOE.
FOE.
Faith over everything.
Hola! In the words of Xavier. Hi, guys. Welcome to November. Yes, November.
Yes, y'all.
Welcome to Faith Over Everything podcast. Wait, and Faith Over Everything. It's a podcast where we talk about everything. Y'all heard the theme song. I apologize. Last month, the last episode, I did not put the intro in. Did you notice that? I didn't do the intro or the outro. I just uploaded the video, and I sure was like when YouTube did the checks because it'll normally flag the song.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, but it did say, we can talk about it later. I'm sorry. But just know that I knew that I had forgot. I mean, once I got through the checks, I was like, oh, that's cool. They ain't flagging no more.
They finally let us know.
Submit. And then I was like, that's why I didn't flag it, because I didn't do my due diligence. So I apologize, guys. But listen, y'all know the song. Y'all should know it by now.
If y'all know it, hit us up because we're going to do something different, okay?
We want to do something fancy in 2023, okay?
Fancy now. Oh, you fancy now.
But if this is your first time here, welcome to Faith Over Everything podcast. My name is Angela Suggs.
I am Jasmine Suggs.
And welcome. We are going to jump right into our icebreaker.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Okay. That song was still in my head. Okay, so we gonna do for this one, Angela. I'm sorry, I had heard something. And only me and AJ is here, so I mean,
the way your face was like, that's what's like. Who walked in your room?
I don't know what it was. It just. I don't know what that was, but Lord protect us in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay.
Speak to my heart.
One gotta go. I'm trying to determine on. Okay, I'll say that one for the other one. Okay, so one gotta go.
She got options.
Good credit.
Ooh, keep.
No taxes. No student loans. Or a perfect body.
Oh. Okay.
These junk so hard.
Perfect body can go. It can go. I don't need a perfect body. I just need a nice body. So, perfect body. No taxes, no student loans, good credit. Listen, and if I got good credit and no taxes, that means I got and no student loans. I might have money. If I really want a perfect body, I can go pay for one.
You go buy one.
Not that hard. Perfect body up out of here. I can just have a nice body. Or a regular body. I got a regular body now and I'm doing fine.
I said, this is getting me where I need to go. I'm good.
Listen. I want my body the way the Lord made me. Okay? What's your answer?
I was struggling. But I just came to... I came to the conclusion of no student loans because I told you the rapture gonna come before those get paid. So,
baby, listen.
Or they can take these degrees back. Listen, which ones you want? Like you want? I got three of them. You want all three of them back, or you want one out of the three? You want two out of three? Which ones you want? Like whichever one costs more. Okay, take this master's.
This baby said, "Listen, you gonna get the bare minimum payment." Every month, I'm not paying nothing extra. I'm not paying anything.
Not at all.
Well, I mean,
but I think I had landed on student loans because I was like, I mean, good credit. I really don't. I don't know. It's like it's good to have, but it ain't everything. Like I don't have to have credit.
I guess I could have got rid of that too. I mean, I can get excellent credit. They ain't saying nothing about excellent credit.
And then the no taxes, I was just like, I guess, depending on what that pertains to. Like, is it no taxes on everything? Like my
that's what I took it as. No taxes, period. Like when you buy groceries, no clothes, when you buy no taxes on your house, like no taxes, period. Is what I took it as.
Okay. And then a perfect body is just like, I would love a perfect body. Like, I mean, I probably won't ever get one until I get to heaven, but I mean,
because I want to go to heaven. Ooh, and get my perfect body. Yeah. You better go on, girl. Get your perfect body.
Hey. I'm getting a mansion. Listen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I had went with no student loans.
Okay.
That can go. But it was hard for me. I ain't gonna lie. It was hard for me.
When you first said it, I was like, But then I was like, okay.
That'll do.
I'll take a regular body. I'll take a nice body. Perfect? Nothing's ever perfect. Okay. Jesus was perfect. Period. That's it.
Anywho, so yes, y'all tell us, what would y'all let go? What would go? Would y'all let go of the good credit, no taxes, no student loans, or would you let go of the perfect body?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that it's actually a game that's called One Gotta Go?
I don't. Is that Target or something?
I had just Googled it and it had came up on Instagram and I was like, interesting. That's where I got it from.
Well, shout out to them for
we'll providing it. Tag them, see if they go ahead.
They can send us a game. Go ahead and send it to us.
We'll play with it.
Come on, One Gotta Go. We like y'all. Y'all. This network. Anywho, right. We are going to jump into this month's episode topic because we are already in the episode. So let's get to the topic.
Yes, so this month's topic is RESPECT. Can we bring... Oh, I can't even say it right. Can we bring that back in 2023?
Bring it back 2023. Yes. Something like that.
Have you noticed though, like the respect of everything has just went like I don't know. It's just like for everything. Like I mean, it's just so many different things that is just. When I was a kid, I just did not. I think we was talking about it the other day. Like when people are like, even if they was drunk or even if they was a cussing sailor, if they went past a church. They didn't.
If they was about that thug life,
yes, they didn't do nothing. But it's like I have seen in my days, like when we used to live in Milwaukee, and I don't know if I had told you or what, but it was like 6 or 7 different cars on the church parking lot had got broken into, and it was so crazy because I'm like, we're at church, like who would think to come on church? Right? Who would think to come on church property to steal? And it was so crazy because one of the ladies that I think she was like, yeah, they stole my Bible, my church CDs. You stole the Bible? Like, what? You needed a Bible that bad? You should have just came into the church, and I'm pretty sure we would have gave you one or two.
For free, without having to even bust nobody's windows out or
it was so crazy.
Break into nobody's car.
And then recently I had just saw that it was I think it was when I was looking up that one DJ, and she was saying that somebody in New Orleans had came into the church and was stealing stuff, and I was just like, we really don't have no respect for God's house anymore like that. Like that's kind of scary. Like y'all getting real janky. Like it's already crazy that you be stealing just regular folk, but you that bold
in regular life,
right? But you stealing from Jesus' crib. It's kind of janky.
I mean, just like that. Was it in New York? I mean, granted, that church. I ain't gonna speak on it because I know it was like tricky. Because people were saying like they didn't know if he had set it up or whatever. But either way it go, even if I'm gonna hope that it wasn't a setup. But in an event, even if it was a setup, who would like? If somebody was to be like, "Hey, bro, I want you to come rob me. I'm gonna be at my church." Yo, church? Like, I'm not about to come to your church. I'll carjack you a block down from church. Like, let me do that. Like, come into God's house and do that, whatever. It's really just like, dang, like y'all don't even, like you said, like you don't have no respect for God. Like this is God's house. Like, at the very least, people should feel safe, whatever. Like, and I don't know, I'm trying to think, like, do you remember anything? Well, granted, it's not like we are old. Okay, we still young out here. Okay. But like, I feel like, well, yeah, I don't, because remember when that guy, I think his name is Dylan Roof, that went into that church and killed all them people. Yes. I don't necessarily know. I mean, do you think that's where it kind of sparked off? Or pretty sure there were isolated incidents maybe before then, but just nationally, that was the first time I had ever heard of anything like really in a church?
Church, yeah. Well, I don't know if he was the spark, because I can't recall. I mean, I can't remember if he was first or if when they actually. Well, he probably was first then, but I know that remember in Milwaukee or Kenosha or somewhere in Wisconsin, they had went into it wasn't a church, but
that's
it was
Oak Creek.
Yeah, Oak Creek.
I think that was after
church, but it was from a different religion, but they went in there and they was killing folks there or whatever.
I think that was after.
So maybe he did spark it. I don't know. I just know that it just started getting like this.
It's crazy.
Start changing, yeah, because that was more of a hate crime, because you kind of like you targeted those people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you talking about in South Carolina or
in both? I think it was in South
Carolina.
Oh,
because it was the Wisconsin. It was a Sikh.
It was a temple. Yeah, temple. Because I was like, I know it's not a church, like it's not called a church, but it was from a different
maybe that
culture.
Was after, maybe that was before, because that was in 2012. So August of 2012, the Oak Creek Sikh.
Really?
Shooting. So that makes me feel like I'm like, dang. So
then when was the South Carolina?
His might have been, maybe his was after, because I'm like, I just cannot believe that it would have been anything before that. His happened in it looks like his was 2015, so maybe the Oak Creek one was first. Right. So, but that's crazy.
So it was just like, like just the audacity to just go in there and just, steal, kill, and destroy. Really, like, I mean, you really was on the devil's work, really. So it's like,
absolutely,
you want to be like, dang, I can't believe it. But in all honesty, it's kind of like, well,
what else are you supposed to be doing? That's your job.
Right.
Well, as far as the
devil, right? Like that's what he was supposed to be doing, stealing, killing, and destroying. So it was like, well, now that I think about it, like you succeeded on your job. So I don't know. That is just crazy to me. Of that,
I guess you just think that there's boundaries though, like just where you're just like, okay, now kind of like how when God told the devil, like, you can do whatever you want to Job, whatever. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, but you just can't kill him. Like, you can do whatever you want, but you just can't kill him. So it's kind of the same. Like, you can do whatever you want to my people, just not to my house. Like, you would think that like maybe that boundary was in place. Like, you can attack them however you want to attack them. If they fall victim to it, they fall victim to it. But just don't touch my house. So it's like, wait a minute, devil, was you supposed to be up in here? Like, I don't. You do not have no dominion in here. Okay? I mean, you ain't got no dominion anyway, but still, what are you doing? But
I guess you can still rest on that. He can't do anything without God's permission. So it's not like it caught God off of guard. I mean, it didn't catch him off guard.
True.
So it's like that is something that we can rest upon, which, of course we'd be like, well, I don't know why this happened or whatever like that. It's just like, we just have to trust and believe that he did it for a reason, or he allowed it to happen for a reason.
So now churches just got to be ready. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Come up in here if you want to. You know what I'm saying?
Because I know at our church, at our local church right now, like, you don't want to try it because you don't even know, because they so undercover.
I don't even know.
Right. Like, sometimes I'll be like trying to talk to them, be like, oh, hey, how you doing? Then I just see, I'll be like, oh, you on duty. Never mind. God bless, like, you know, like, because they don't do no eye contact. Like, they really, like, you know, spotting, you know, looking at everybody. Like, it's for real. It's the real deal. But yeah, but the next thing I was gonna say is respecting our elders. Like, I just I don't know. I guess I've always been old school. I remember I had almost got in trouble because one of my mentors, she's probably about how old is she? She's
less than 10
years. She's probably about 7 years older than me. And I remember I was talking to her, and then I don't know what we was talking about, but I know I went back to my mama, and I was like, Mama, Margaret said, she said, who? Margaret?
I said, you don't know who she is?
Margaret? And she was like, Miss Margaret? And I was like, Miss Margaret? Like, so I had to tell Margaret, like, I gotta call you Miss Margaret because my mama said that. She was like, I know that your mom mean well, or whatever she said. She was like, but don't you call me Miss Margaret? Like, at least
you call me Margaret, but when you talk to your mama, you could say Miss Margaret said.
Exactly. I was just like, but I've always grown up on that, and it's just like, even at work, like, it'd be so weird to even call like somebody that's older. I'd be like, oh, hi, Miss, you know, like I'd be like, hi, Miss, whatever, and they, who is a Miss? Like, don't be calling me no Miss. Like, you grown, and it's just, I don't know. It's been embedded in my brain.
What do you think? Maybe that's just because I'm, of course, listen, hey, mama, I know you're going to be in the comments, girl. And you did right by me. Okay, my mama didn't play that. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Mr., Miss, like, you don't play that. You know what? These are your elders. You a child, so you stay in the child's place, and you, all of that. Okay. So do you think maybe the parents have failed? Like, I feel like it's a parent thing. Like, it has to be your upbringing. Like, I think that I honestly feel like a lot of these things,
failure though. It's just like you said, it's just the upbringing, because they probably don't feel like it's a failure.
It's necessary. I feel like it's a breakdown. Like, there's a breakdown of what's important or what's needed and what's not needed. Like, you know, whatever. So I don't think it's necessary to teach my child this, so I'm not going to teach them, you know, whatever. Like, so, you know, just this, like I remember when I first came around this family, but I mean, you think about it, because I remember like all the kids, even now, like, or when the kids were growing up, your kids were growing up, and they would just be like, Brandon, Brian, Courtney, blah, blah. And I'm like, those are your uncles and your aunties. Like, but at the same time, I think about it, one of my aunts, we used to just always call her Sonya, whatever. But, and I'm thinking that's because she was closer in age to the cousins, you know, whatever, or to the nieces and nephews that, you know, she was grown when I was born. Yeah, I mean, she was grown when I was born, but by the time, everybody, all my other cousins was just calling her Sonya. So we like, okay, Sonya. After we got a little bit older, we started to call her, you know, aunt, whatever. But we initially was just like calling her by her name. And I'm pretty sure it's because of the age. And I'm thinking it's the same thing with this family, with y'all, or with the family we married into. Because I don't want to call it your family. Like, that's our family.
Like, your family.
With them Suggs, like that in our last names. But I think it's the same thing with the Suggs. Is like, you know, especially Brandon. Brandon was a teenager. Like,
girl, yes.
He was a kid when the kids was born. So he is, so they like, I'm gonna call him Uncle Brandon.
Uncle.
Like, Brandon. So I remember I used to think that, like, because I used to think that, but then at the same time I had to check myself, like, wait a minute, girl, when you was younger, you wasn't calling your auntie aunt, you was calling her Sonya. So, and I mean,
now that I think of it, like, on my daddy's side, all my aunties and uncles, like, I call them like Uncle Ruben, Auntie Lynn, Auntie Debbie. But then when I get to my mama's side, I do say Auntie Sharon, but I used to always call we just call D. And it's because, like, couldn't nobody tell me that wasn't my sister. Like, D was my sister. I don't know how she was my mama's sister and my sister, but she was my sister. Like, and I just call her D. Like, but now that I'm older, which is crazy, but now that I'm older, I call her Auntie D or TTD or whatever. which is like crazy because she probably like, girl, if anything, now you really can call me D.
But I think it's just because that's what you're embedded to show that respect. So once you're old enough and you're like, wait, this is my auntie, so let me give her that respect of calling her auntie. Like, okay, like I said with my aunt, like we called her Sonya. Then at some point it was like, wait, Auntie Sonya, like, hey, Auntie Sonya, let me call Auntie Sonya. And it's just like, okay, because after a while you're like, wait a minute, that's my aunt. Like, I can't just be calling her by her name. So I mean, in terms of like just respecting elders in that sense, I definitely think it's an upbringing thing, how you were, or just even everything, all aspects of respect. Like even with the church, like if you were raised to respect the church, I mean, I guess even then people don't. Never mind, because they might have been raised that way, and people still fall. So just like you, I'm sure a lot of people was raised not to steal, not to kill, and they grow up and they do it anyway. So never mind. I lied.
She did.
That's that free will. That's that free will stuff. That's where that free will come into play. Like, you can't blame that. Don't blame that on nobody's upbringing. That is just people being people.
It really is. Because, I know for my children, like, we have friends or whatever, and then, like, sometimes they'll be talking or whatever, and I just know that they're not talking about, like, my friends or whatever, because I just be like... You either put a miss or a mister in front of it or auntie, uncle, something or whatever. And then, like, sometimes I'll catch them and I'll just be like, wait, what? Who you talking about? Mr. So-and-so? Like, I don't play that. Like, I don't care if you think that you grown. No. And I don't even care. Like, and then, like, going back to what my mama did, like, I feel like I'm her because I'm just like, I don't care what they said. Like, you gonna call them by a Mr. or Mrs. or a auntie or uncle, something like that. Like put some respect on their name. Like don't do that.
All three of y'all. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Some respect. Okay, sorry. Y'all heard what he said.
Yes. Okay. Yes, indeed.
But yeah, I think that the elder thing is a lot of it falls on how you were brought up. The elders, like respecting elders, talking to people right. I think that if you want to lose it as you get older, that's fine. But I think that that's really because that's instilled in you from the beginning. Like you said, that's just how once you get older, you're like, oh, I say it this way because that's how I was taught to say it or whatever. So I think that's really instilled into you from the beginning, and you kind of default to that. Because I know, like when I was working, I would talk to people and I'd be like, like you said, you'd be like Miss or Mister. And they be like, Miss, don't call me Miss. Don't do that. Like you call something like, oh, is there a Miss such and such available? And they'll be like, this is her. Like, okay, hey, Miss such a Howard. Nah, don't call me Miss. Don't call me.
I guess it just make them feel like so old or I don't know, like older than anything or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you a fun fact, weird thing about me. The way. So. My little other daughter, Micaiah. So I knew her dad way, like, I grew up with him as like a big brother. So I call him by his first name. His wife is another one of my mentors, but I call her Miss. Like,
I knew you was gonna say that. Once you had said, like, I look at him as a brother, I'm like, what up, dude? What up? You know
right, exactly. But I'm like, hello, but now y'all married, so then do I start calling you, hey, Mister? It just seems weird if I try to call him Mister such as, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it feels too formal.
Yeah, like, hey, Mr. Mark. But it's no doubt in my mind, hey, Miss Carolyn. Like, it just comes out or whatever because I met her as, like, she was an adult, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, clearly Mark is way older than me, but it's just like, I don't know. It's so weird. It is so weird, but I don't know. I got a couple of people like that. A couple of friends like that, and it's just like, and to this day, I just call them
Miss and Mister. You are who you are. Okay, you know what it is.
It is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. What it is. So the next one is respect your morals and values?
Elaborate more. Go ahead.
So, I know that the world is changing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it may seem like, I don't know how to even word it, but it just may seem like, you stuck in the past or stuck in, the old days, quote unquote, old days or whatever. But I still think that it's like you can still be relevant in this world.
Y'all,
you can still be relevant in this world. And still stick to your gun, like stick to your morals and your values. Like, I think we was just talking about this earlier before we, when I was in the car. Like, I grew up and we did not celebrate Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying if you do celebrate Halloween that anything different is going to happen to you. I'm not saying that at all. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that it's surprising that as I get older, like certain people just be like, you ain't celebrate. Well, what's wrong with it? And I just be like, well, Jim Malone didn't play that. Like,
what's that in my household? The way I was raised,
like to this day, when that time is coming for trick or treat, he has a nice big sign on his door, no candy. Okay. And I believe that's how they were raised. So it's kind of like, that's all he knew or whatever.
You
like
put
that.
A bucket of little baby Bibles out there.
Right. Like, oh, you want a treat? Here's a treat. Here you go.
Get to know. Do you know your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Do you believe that he believe he died on the cross?
I should tell him to start doing that. Like, Daddy, I feel like this is the opportunity, to go and spread the gospel. Because, you ain't even got to look for them. They coming to you. They coming to look for some candy. I bet you they won't come next year, but...
They're going to be like, don't go to that house. All you're going to get is a Bible or a prayer. He's going to have a prayer pamphlet.
Say, not that one. Not that one. No, go. Mama, no. But yeah, I think I'm going to tell him. I'm going to encourage him to do that. Like, you know what? That's an opportunity for you. And you missing your opportunity to spread the gospel. I'm going to tell him that. And I know recently, my papa, he started doing it because didn't I tell you that a couple of years back, they had like put tissue all on his lawn.
They TP'd his house.
Mm-hmm. So, but the crazy
because he ain't had no candy, or they was just doing it anyway. He was the only house.
Probably. He
bad
probably
kids.
was. I don't know.
Who they bad?
But he started getting. I was like, Papa, you just be. You surprise me sometimes. Like I would definitely do something to them little suburb kids. Like what? But the funniest thing is that the candy that he give out, I don't know why they keep coming back. It be like the brown Tootsie Rolls.
Wait, what's wrong with the brown Tootsie Roll? I like Tootsie Rolls.
You like regular Tootsie Rolls?
The regular Tootsie Rolls?
Yes.
Mama was just here giving them to the candy, giving them to the kids. Okay, kids. we eat Tootsie Rolls around here. Okay.
Oh well, I guess that's why they keep coming back. Because I was like,
listen, I love me some Tootsie. I used to buy the bag of Tootsie Rolls.
Did you?
You
girl,
are.
Maybe I'm just too bougie because I'm like, if you gonna do it, Papa, just go get them some Snickers,
get the color
Twigs, get some. Yeah, get the flavor kind, get the Kenny candy. Do it big. Like if you gonna do it, then do it big. Then.
I knew you was gonna do it because I was thinking it, but I was like, I'm not gonna do it. But I just knew I was like, I'm gonna resist, and Jasmine's gonna do it. I'm resisting.
But yeah. I don't know. I just
comment below. Do y'all like the zeros? I like the zeros.
Y'all like the regular Tootsie Roll? Like for real?
Poll.
Like,
I'm gonna do a poll because now I feel like an old person or something. Like you don't like Tootsie Rolls? I'll have to ask people in my house. I'll have to ask other people.
I don't. Oh, just the thought of them, like
rude. I like them. You like Werther's Original? The little toffee candies?
I do.
Okay. Whew, okay. Somebody told me that was old lady candy, and I was
that
like,
is
what?
old lady candy because our mothers in the church house, they used to have those, the strawberry
the little strawberry candy. Now those strawberry candies, I don't know where those are. Where are those?
I don't know, but you know what? I would always,
because the ones that they have available are nasty.
Oh, for real? I haven't
the
seen
ones that you find at the regular store. The ones that they used to have back in the day. We'd be sitting in church. And the little church mama would give you the little candy out her pocket or out her purse.
Have butterscotch.
Those was delicious. Wait a minute. You know what? I know why they had all that candy, because that's where you got from the grocery store when they would do the little mix and match.
Oh, you right.
That's
Maybe
probably where they got it from. It ain't. It's not. Oh, okay. I did the grocery store. I think they changed it.
Did they ever cut, like, the strawberry ones? It never cut your tongue? Like, if you...
When it would crack in home. Yeah. When it would, like, it cut me a couple times. Okay. But I still ate it.
I was like, why do I keep going back to eating these? And
it didn't cut my tongue. It cut the top of my roof of my mouth.
Oh, okay. It would always get either the side or the tip.
I ate it.
And I keep on going back to my dad.
I still went back to it. It didn't cut me all the time, but it was dangerous. Yeah. But it was worth it.
Very strategic that you had to eat.
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
Because I kept going back. Look, I kept going back. Exactly.
Listen, respect your values. Like,
listen,
that was your value. You value that candy.
It's like, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick beside it. I value my elders and that candy, because I value my elders and my morals. Because I was nice to my elders. She gave me some candy, okay? That baby was like, oh, baby, you're so sweet. Here you go. Some of this.
Gosh.
And then sometimes they had a candy that was open in their purse, and you'd be like,
no, thank you. Cotton balls all over. No, thank you. Tissue all in. Like, didn't you cry with this? No, thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you. I don't
thank you, Mother Smith. Thank you.
Because I ain't gonna lie, some mothers I didn't take candy from, because I was like,
I only took it from my nana and my grandma.
Must be nice. I took it from people everywhere. Hey, how you going? Hey, little Angela. I was cute, okay? I was a cute little girl. I ain't have, not that just because I wear glasses don't mean I'm not cute, but I ain't had glasses either, because I didn't get glasses till I was in high school. But I was out here just cute, and my little pigtails in my head.
Aww.
I was a cute little girl. Okay. Anywho, continuing on.
But no, that was just one of them. So you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, even with that though, like, definitely hold, like you were saying, the world really is becoming a mess. It's just a mess. Like, even with the morals that you are instilled with, like, for instance, I forgot who I was talking to. I'm pretty sure I know who it was, but I don't want to put them on blast. But we were having a conversation. I was talking about my boys. Like, I'm raising boys. I want them to be good boys. I want them to keep God first. I want them to, have that moral compass. I want them to know that, regardless of what the world says, it's okay to be virgins, and to not. Actually, it was two different people. Because this conversation I was having with a different person, not the one I'm thinking of. The one I'm thinking of, we were talking about, I was saying how it was easy. That's what it was. So I'm going to go back to the conversations. The one with the religion, with the sex, whatever. I was trying to say virgin. The one with the sex, they were like, well, you're not going to be able to control that. And I'm like, no, I won't be able to control it, but I can trust and believe that my children they'll be instilled with those morals and those values to know that they wouldn't even want to have sex until they're married. And they basically was talking about how, of course they would be unicorns and blah, blah. That's fine. My kids they can stand out. That's fine. My kids can be different. Like, I want them to be different. Like, the world is making, and this is somebody who also, look, they can be different. But it's like, the world is, it's making it seem like if you are a virgin, you're weird. No, you're not weird. There's nothing wrong with being a virgin. And the person that was telling me this is somebody that's in the church as well. So how, like, what values do you have that that you're reading? Like, what the Bible says, what you, like, I don't know. To me, it's just like, why is it so far-fetched of an idea for you to think that, that this, yes, like that is not, that it's possible when you are supposed to be a believer yourself. Like, whatever, like how I don't know. That didn't make sense to me. The other person was Michaela.
Oh,
Michaela. No, Michaela was this one. Michaela wasn't the sex one. Michaela, because I had to think about it because I felt like the sex one was a little bit too much. But Michaela was.
I put her on blast. I don't care.
Yeah, I put Michaela on blast. So we was talking about. Me and Michaela was talking about. Like I think we were talking about when your daughter was getting ready to go to homecoming, and you had to get her hair done and get her dressed and do all that stuff. And I was like, ooh wee. I was like, with boys, I was like, granted, my boys are far away from going to homecoming. I was like, but you know, when they do go to homecoming, all I gotta do is probably just get their hair cut, which they're gonna be getting their hair cut anyway, and so it ain't gonna be nothing new, whatever. I'm like, they're gonna be getting their hair cut, and all they gotta do is get their hair cut and get something to wear, you know, whatever. Like, and I mean, now I think about it, it probably would still be expensive, because boys' clothes are expensive.
Oh my goodness. You're going to have to get them custom made and everything.
No, they're not. They're going to wear whatever is at the store.
Don't you go to nephew sons like that?
Listen, we finna go to what? I don't know what them stores is called around here. We about to go Macy's. I don't. Because you know how like at back at home it was like Giovanni's or you know little little different stores that we knew of. But I'm like, I don't know the stores here, but whatever. We're gonna go to one of them little stores. But I was just talking about how it'd be easier because I have a boy or I have boys. She was like, it'd be easier because what? Because if the girl get pregnant, they ain't gotta come home with the baby. I'm talking about home. Quickly. I'm talking about homecoming. I'm talking about getting ready, dressed. I'm talking about getting clothes. Like, I was like, I mean, listen, ma'am. My kid. Then I told her, I said, my kids like having sex that ain't married, you know, whatever. And she said the same thing. I can't control that. And I'm like, yeah, I know I can't control it, but I would like to instill those values in them.
But guess what? It's power in your tongue, so you keep speaking that over him. And
it be working too, y'all, because let me tell you, when I was pregnant with Xavier, I told y'all this before, I said I wanted a mama's boy. And guess what I got? A mama's boy. Y'all better stop playing with y'all tongue. Y'all better stop playing with them words.
It's small, but they
are powerful. Listen. That baby said, oh, you want a mama's boy? I remember
telling her that too. I was like, wait, what? You want what? Okay, girl.
I didn't say that with Miles. Listen, Miles is very much
he in
between. Sometimes he want his daddy, sometimes he want his mama. And I just be like, okay, I like that, Miles. You are a happy medium. Okay. I like that about you. You keep that up. Xavier's happy medium now too, but back in the day.
Oh wait.
Oh, Jesus. I wanted to
feel so sorry for her. Y'all,
they would not.
If y'all seen her before, like
he would not. Xavier was
that was half of the reason why I was just like, she ain't finna have no other kid. Like she
was terrorizing me.
There's no way. There's no room. There's no room for no other child.
I don't think it was the mama's boy phase yet, but I just remember for Miss 60th birthday when we went to Longhorn and Xavier knocked down
salad. It looked like the whole restaurant turned and was like, she gonna kill him. She gonna kill him.
Y'all, I think I was putting him. What was I doing? I know he was in the little what is it? The seat.
The booster seat.
The booster seat. He was in the high chair. He was in the high chair. And I got up to do something. And when I was getting up, the man, I think I was holding him already. I probably was holding him. And then when the man came to bring the food, I got up to put him in the high chair. And when I put him in the high chair, that man put my plate down. And Xavier knocked my plate down on the floor. It was just, I knew it. I don't think I realized probably how mad I looked until I looked at you. And you was like, what? Because I don't know what my face looked like. I just know you was like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, that probably was the mama's, because I clearly was holding him. So it probably was during that mama boy phase. And I just was overwhelmed. Like, this baby, the doctor was full.
And I think we was like super duper hungry too, which was the crazy thing.
That man was like, it's okay, I'll bring you another one. It was a steak salad, y'all.
Yes, I was just gonna say, I was like, you probably was mad because it was steak on it. Like,
I was just like,
it just sat down on the table and he's there. Bloop.
was like, he ain't no better. He just a baby, but
right.
But I didn't care.
I was nervous for him though. I was definitely nervous for him.
But yes, there's power in your tongue, so be careful, okay? You gotta be careful what you say. Be careful what you say to yourself. Listen. So yes, I am. I want my children to, have that moral, and then just to know that just because the world is telling you that that's not normal, because the world is very much like, oh, you're supposed to have a whole face, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, you're supposed to. I mean, no, you're not. You ain't supposed to do nothing. You can do that stuff. You have the option, but you're not supposed to. You don't have to do it. Like, I don't know. So,
girl, I say it all the time. Like, you don't have to have a testimony. Not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you ain't got to be like, oh, right, I was out here.
I was out here, and then I was smoking and drinking, and I just was doing it all. And then the Lord come snatch me.
I got saved.
Right. I got time for that.
Girl, I was about to say, you ain't got to have the testimony from the girl from the song last month. What would you do if your son was at home?
Oh, right.
You ain't got to have that testimony.
Listen. Because what would you do? If you just saved and
what would
a
you
virgin
do
until you get married
to Jesus Christ, and he said, "Come over here. I accept
you
as you are, and come on now, and let me love you." Yes, I love you too, Jesus.
Because you'll never be alone.
Yes, and I'll always be here for you.
Oh my gosh!
And
but
I
yes,
give
that
you
is
desires
true,
of your heart and everything. Like I was about to say, I give you a husband, but you might not want no husband. You might not want no wife. You might not want to do all that. But whatever you desire, he'll give it to you.
The desires of your heart. If it's in his
all
will.
of them.
Be like, I want to set y'all up and be like, well, y'all said he was gonna give me the desires of my heart. Well,
and I desire $1 million.
That's not his will. He knows you. He know what you gonna do.
What you need.
Ain't gonna never do no tithes and offering. Nope.
He said he can't even trust you in the little.
Oh, right.
He's supposed to trust you with the lot. Like,
ain't gonna happen, baby. Ain't gonna happen.
Okay, speaking of the Bible, I have a question about that. So, I mean, I understood the lesson in terms of, but I felt bad for the man. The story where Jesus gave the parable or whatever, and he was talking about how the man had gave his people, what was it that he gave them? Y'all, I'm not good at reciting the Bible at certain stuff. Look, but the man he had gave them, the little seeds to plant and stuff, whatever. I think that's what it was, or whatever. And he was like, no, I think he gave them money because he was like, the one man had made twice as much, or whatever. And then the one dude was like, he kept the money. The last one kept the money safe, and he just gave his master back the money that he whatever. But I was like, maybe he just didn't know how to. He didn't know how to hustle. Maybe he didn't know how to whatever. Like I felt bad for him because then he was like, "Give me your money," and he gave it to the other man. And then he said he was gonna send them to where they was fighting and gnashing the teeth and stuff. And I was like, "Why the man gotta do all that? He ain't lose the money. He just." I was like, that is harsh. That's a harsh punishment.
Listen, you better take that parable and share. You better share. The Lord is trying to warn us. Listen. He
said, whatever I give you, you need to go invest it and go do more with it. Which I get. Like, again, I get it. But what if I don't know what to do with it? That's what the man's problem was. He didn't know what to do. Well, I don't know what his problem was.
Right.
Well, he said he was lazy. You could have just went out and did it. So maybe that's what it is. Now that I said you were being lazy.
Put it in the bank so I could get interest
on it.
If you ain't want to do nothing, that's the least that you.
That's what it was.
So it's telling you
because he was being lazy. Yes. Okay.
Don't just be a bum.
You ain't want to do no work.
Exactly.
Whatever. But I was just like, dang, the man got the man. He gave your money back. He said, here you go. Here you go, $20 back. What? No.
Like, my 20. What? Give me this money.
Here you go. You take this because you did good. Now you go to hell.
Right. That's basically what he said. You go to hell.
I was like, oh. I mean, it'd be so funny because, like, when you read the Bible, like, I knew that, but I was just like, that just seemed a little harsh. But talking it out, clearly, he was lazy. He didn't do It's just like, oh, okay,
So
Lord.
that's something that we need to
whatever
take
he
heed.
gave you, you better use it and go.
Okay, take heed. Now that could be money. That could be gifts. If the Lord gave you a gift and you up there just sitting on it,
keeping it to yourself.
That's
pray if you don't know what to do with it, pray that He gives you the opportunity or the idea or to know how to use your gift, because
to give you guidance and boldness. That's what the main thing is, the guidance and the boldness to do what He has told you to do. Don't be scared. He there with you.
He right there. He's
so
right there.
That was a side note, because that wasn't even in our notes. So whoever is out there
sleeping, sitting on your gift or sitting on whatever it was, listen, God said, don't play with me.
Unless you want to go with the gnashing of the teeth people.
Girl, whenever I read that, I be like, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there. Not at all. But yeah. Next. So the next one is some of these we don't really have to do, but it was just like,
so yeah, because we already about 45 minutes.
I know. I was like, I'm trying to wrap this up, so I'll wrap it up with just respect yourself. The other ones I had is like respect your marriage. That's a given. And other people should also respect your marriage as well.
And if they don't, you need to make them respect your marriage.
Exactly.
Set those boundaries in place.
Exactly. So that, see, that was simple and easy. Like that should be a given. That should be a given. But and then the other people in general, I think we kind of talked about that anyway. Like when you respect God and you respect elders and your morals and values, automatically it will come that you will start respecting other people. Like you would just, even if they don't deserve it or whatever the case may be, like if you are doing unto others what you want done to you, the golden rule, then it will be all good. But that last one I did want to touch just real quick, just on like respecting yourself, like, and it's not even like as broad as it can be, but I was just like, I be talking to my daughters and it's just like, I know it's a different generation and I know my parents probably struggled the same way for me, but I'm just like, can we leave some room for the imagination? Like, just some room. Like, you don't have to show everything that you have. Like, the Lord has blessed you tremendously. And you don't have to show that. And that can go for your body. That can go for the materialistic things. That can go for anything that is just like, does anybody really need to know?
That's your business.
Right. Does it really have to be broadcast on social media or whatever the case may be? Like, is you just trying to flex? Like, what is the purpose of it? Are you stunting, or are you are you stunting, or are you like giving God the praise? You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's be careful of that. And even with your job, like if you going in for a job, like, know your worth. Don't let them give you them scrums. I remember when I was, I never had an interview with the person because I kept emailing him, telling him like, did the compensation change? Because the paper that you keep sending me, my 15, well, at the time she was 15, my 15-year-old, no, she was 16. I take that back. My 6-year-old, she makes more than that, and she's at a fast food place.
And she ain't even graduated high school. She ain't got no high school diploma.
Right, she's still in school.
I got a high school diploma and 3 degrees.
Girl, so I'm like, sorry, Dr. Such and Such, would you take this? Like, why are you even offering this? And then my requirements to have this job is so high. I'm sorry. No. And I promise you, it was like 3 times he kept sending it. And then, like, that third time, I just blocked him. I was just like, you know what? Obviously, you're not.
Him. Did you? Why you just couldn't tell me I'm not interested no more?
I told him twice. I told him the first time the first time he had sent me the thing, you know, they were saying, like, oh, this position has been opened. This is the description of the position. This is the pay range of the position. This is what's included. This will be the time that you will work or whatever like that. Are you still interested? Hello. Thank you for the opportunity and the consideration. However, comma, no, I am not.
Mm-hmm.
Please reach out to me once the compensation range change.
Mm-hmm.
Second time comes around. Hello.
Again.
Did the pay range change? And he was like, at this time, it has not. At this time, thank you for the opportunity. Like, I'm still being respectful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still being respectful. Thank you for the opportunity. However, comma, at this point in time, this pay range will not help me.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Send. The third time it came around, I said,
how
nope.
long were how soon?
It was like, it had to be like months. It was like, let's say the end of October of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Then January came. Mm-hmm. Then March is when he got blocked. Because I was just like,
just maybe he didn't do his due diligence. You know, maybe one day I may work in a position of, you know, like an HR position or something, you know. And then just knowing this now, it's letting me know that maybe I should keep a note of like, okay, this person,
the people that I reached out to,
don't reach out to them unless they paying this much money. Okay, maybe he's just not keeping his notes, and he's just like, well, hi there. My name is such and such. We are hiring. Like, that baby said, did you pay range change?
Wouldn't like, because he's emailing me from the same email address, so wouldn't you be like kind of shocked that like once you start typing, my name pops up and be like, oh,
let me see what I said to her before. Let me see what happened
to her before. Right, like now you like insulting my intelligence. Like you think I'm just finna settle.
Maybe they figure that eventually maybe you're desperate. Like, oh, she need a job, so she gonna need this job. Mm-hmm. So nah, absolutely not. I will not need this job. Not especially if that. I ain't gonna say if it's true. I'm sure it's true if you said that that's what your daughter was making. Like, absolutely not. She doesn't have a degree at all. She has
right.
So she doesn't have a diploma.
Lets me know.
She doesn't have a diploma. She is not even getting. Listen, she's not even walking the stage this year. She still has years left.
And which is so crazy though is because my colleague that I have right now, the Lord be doing he be doing what it do. Okay, listen, the colleague that I have now, she used to work at this place. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know how long ago she used to work at this place, but she used to work at this place, and at first I was like, okay, it might be it might be a different person or whatever. But she said his name and I was just like, because when she was telling me, she was like, they don't make nothing and they just want you to do so much. And like, she just started going, oh, I said, oh, the Lord blocked that. He was just making sure, like, listen, you prayed about a certain position. You prayed about a certain range. So don't settle. Like, you need to really just wait, sit there and be still, shut up. Like, if you gonna pray about it, be about it. Don't pray and worry. Like, what's the purpose of that? Like, don't be. I mean, I'm pretty sure he ain't gonna say don't waste my time, but
might as well. But I mean, he definitely.
In my words, I'm like, okay, don't waste his time. If you gonna pray about it, then just have faith over everything.
It's a podcast where we talk about everything. Okay, because God will take care of everything. Because I don't know, he definitely be blocking stuff. Like, he'll block stuff, or he will allow you to see like what's for you and what's not for you, or whatever. Like, I remember when I had first started working at the state real fast, and then we're gonna close up. I worked at the state. I had also applied for a position. I think it was like dispatch for like the fire department or whatever else. I was already kind of like, I don't know if I want this job because it dealt with maps. But when I did the test, I did good. So I was like, okay, if it's anything like this, I might be all right. But either way it go, the pay range, they offered me the position at the state first. And then I started there. And then the other job called me like, hey, we want you to come work, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And it was a lot more money than what I was getting at the state. And so I was like, ooh, I had just started though. So, I ain't never been one to just, up until recently, I ain't never been one to just start a job and then just be like, no, like, that's instilled in me. My mama has instilled in me that, you have to be self-sufficient. You have to work. So, I was like, I can't I just started this job, so I don't necessarily, and you don't want to let nobody down. Like, I've never been a job hopper either. Right. Like, I ain't, listen, working for the state, I seen people really be out here job hopping. And listen, this, if somebody out here is a job hopper and you listening to this is the Lord telling you, stop, sit down, stay in one place. Don't do that. Like, you can work your way up or stay here until you find the one that is for you. Like, you hopping from job to job because you hop from this, you working this job, you don't like it. You go to this job, you don't like it. You go to this job. Why don't you just stay at one job you don't like and keep a steady paycheck and find one that, until you know there's one that you, I'm like, that's, anyway, sorry. Because I just don't be understanding. Like, I don't, why you keep quitting? Okay, anyway.
We millennials, that's what he do. Like, I am not finna settle. If I don't like it, I'm gone.
No, don't do that. That's not right. That's not right.
And listen, y'all pray about it. Don't listen to Angie. Y'all pray about it. The Lord telling you to move, listen.
If he telling you to move, but he ain't telling you to move from one job and work there for 2 weeks and then work at another job for 2 weeks.
Maybe he's telling you to just be an entrepreneur.
Exactly. That's what you need to be praying about. Lord Father God, what is the idea? What is the idea that you are trying to give to me?
Right. What passion?
Okay, but anywho, the position they had called, and I was like, okay. And so I mentioned it at work, at my new job, like, oh, this other position, or I mentioned like, called me. The fire department called me. And this lady was like, oh, I just came from there. Whatever. So now I'm like, she just came from there. What you doing here? So she was like, I just came from there. And she was like, basically, it was good money. She was like, but you just don't have no life, whatever. And she was like, they, which I believe, because it was a city, and the city did always do. My brother worked for the city, so it's like always mandatory overtime, whatever, not voluntary, mandatory. Like, you're mandatory. Because he would always be like, I was supposed to be off on Saturday, but I got mandatory. What? No, like, that's not how I operate. I can't have nobody telling me I gotta come to work. Like, I'm supposed to be my off day, but you telling me I gotta come to work. I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna be insubordinate. And the Lord knew that. He knew, like, this baby, she need her life. Like, she want a life. This current job that I was in, that was Monday through Friday, weekends off. Like, it was a set schedule. So I was like, and she was like, yep, you got to do overtime or mandatory overtime, and it'd be a lot. So, like, if you work third shift and the person that worked first shift call in, you got to work. They shift. Like, and it'd be, yes, it's not like mandatory, like, oh, you supposed to have off Friday, you need to come into work Friday. No, you can be at work thinking that you're about to get off at 7 a.m. and they'll be like, oh, Jasmine called in, so we need you to stay till 3.
I'm sorry, you gonna have to call Jasmine. I got kids to pick up. Goodbye.
I mean, at the time, I didn't have no kids, so
I would have made up some kids.
So it was just like, God revealed that real fast. Like, you don't want to do that because you want your life. Like, that's when I was heavy in the church. Like, not heavy, but like heavily involved in my church. I was a youth leader. I was announcements. I was in the choir. I was doing everything. So it was like, I can't miss church on Sundays. Like, no, y'all ain't about to have me. So God will, he'll definitely reveal to you what's for you. Just like you said, old girl was like, I mean, granted, you already knew because he had already been blocked, but he confirmed to you that ain't where you wanted to be anyway.
He's done a lot of confirmations, and I'm just like, I see you, and I'm glad that I was obeying you,
paying attention and listening. And so let that be a word for y'all. We about to get up out of here.
Yeah, so I hope that helped some of y'all, all of y'all, one of y'all. Tell us what y'all respect and what y'all ain't gonna hold back from, you know what I'm saying? But we appreciate y'all for listening. We got a lot of things that y'all need to be commenting below, so hopefully y'all doing it.
Yes. Comment below, subscribe, hit the like button, and subscribe to our newsletter, buy some merch.
Yes. Oh, and y'all can buy my book. I got a book out here.
She showed do. She showed it.
Yes.
Y'all better get that devotional.
It's a devotional. Yeah, let me step back a little bit.
It's a
devotional.
It's a book.
Because I don't want y'all thinking that y'all finna read a whole
There are
stuff.
pages.
But yes, it's on Amazon. Check it out. Faith Over
It's an
Everything
ebook.
devotional book. ebook.
She got an ebook and she got a hard copy.
Hard copy.
Is it gonna be out when it's out?
Because it's supposed to come out November 1st. So hard copy. If you want me to sign it, just let me know. I'll roll up on y'all, get y'all some signature. You know what I'm saying? Because we finna be out here. You know what I'm saying?
So is. Okay.
Because it's covering your tongue, okay?
I'm getting mine signed.
And she's gonna be next. She's gonna be the next one that has a book out here under Faith Over Everything. So be checking.
Mine's would be a story. Mine's would really be a book.
Because hers is a real.
That sounded. I'm sorry. Mine's would be a book, a story book. Because I said mine's would really be a book. Like that's because you. That's because you started that. No, you.
Hers is gonna be a real book. Mine's is just devotionals. Listen, I'm quick and easy. I'm gone. Like Angie, she can give you a story. She can give you a good story. I'm in and out. Listen. Bada bing, bada boom.
Pray for me.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Y'all pray.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Pray God give me the right word.
Bada bing, bada boom. Whatever. But
bada bing, bada boom.
Be out here.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, I had it right. Okay.
See that big bada bing, go bada boom. Shut up, shaking like you can for me. You know I like it when she do that little dance for me. You know that song? It's B2K. See that big bada bing, go bada boom. Hey, okay, y'all, we gotta go.
Maybe I do. I don't know. Sorry, but
she know it. She old. She a grandma. All right, y'all. We will see y'all later this month for our Thanksgiving episode.
Yes, y'all. Toodles.
Adios.
Hey,
FOE.
Faith over everything.
Faith over everything.
FOE.
FOE.
Faith over everything.